I woke up this morning and I was a little bit concerned because I didn't really know what I was going to do in regards to my winter village. The other day I started building a gondola and it was based on the Ninjago City Market set. And it just really didn't work out because just the steepness of the hill didn't work out. The length that the gondola had to span, the beam started to bow a little bit because of the weight of the gondola that directly sat on the beam. I also had to raise up the supports on the bottom and also on the top of the hill so that it could actually have clearance so skiers could pass underneath the gondola. But that raised up the entrance to the gondola so that it would be unrealistic and would make it sort of hard to manage in the space that I had. So to be honest with you, after filming that video yesterday in regards to all of those changes that I wanted to make, I woke up this morning and I was sort of mad with myself because I was like, oh man, I don't know what I'm going to do here. Like, how am I going to fix this problem? So I came down here and sort of took off where I left off, and I was like, okay, I've got to make this gondola work. I've got to change my ski hill. I've got to add more elevation to certain areas so that people can actually ski up to the lift. And then as the day progressed and I played around with that idea more and more, I soon realized that the gondola in general is not going to work. It's not really realistic to have a little tiny ski hill with a gondola. Little tiny ski hills don't really have gondolas. Giant mountains do, but not smaller style ski hills, which is the only thing that I can build in the space that I have. So I decided that I better build a chairlift because it's more realistic and I think it's going to better fit my ski hill. So that's what I've been doing pretty much all day today. And by today, I actually mean Halloween. That's right, it's October 31st. Trick-or-treaters are about to start rolling up to my house. So I'm no longer going to be able to build Lego, but that's okay because I'm about to make a bunch of kids happy with candy. Did I dress up for Halloween? No, unfortunately not. I'm just Bricksie the Lego builder. So this is what my desk looks like after a day of building. There are parts and part bins absolutely everywhere, and also the modular building that I need to get on building right away. But I'm just so stoked on this ski hill, and I couldn't sleep. I couldn't even think straight unless I get this gondola or chairlift figured out. So the lift that I'm about to show you, or the build that I'm about to show you, requires a bunch of strange pieces to build. So I was rummaging through Technic to try and find every little Technic bit that I had, and look at that. It's some of the only pieces in my inventory that are not sorted. So finding these pieces took forever. Also, I didn't have all the required pieces, so I've been making part substitutions like crazy. There's also a whole bunch of connectors that this build requires, so I've been digging through my connector bins, which once again are sort of a mess. Jeepers. But I've done a pretty good job of making a ton of part substitutions, whether it be color and part type, to come up with a pretty cool build. Now, before I show you the actual physical build, I just want to show you where I got the instructions to build this chairlift. So of course I ended up at rebrickable.com because I thought to myself, well, maybe somebody has already built a chairlift. So I just decided to search chairlift up here. I didn't search gondola. I'd be curious to do that too. But when I searched chairlift, I saw some crazy options here. Look at that. Chairlift tower down. Doesn't that look crazy? Same with this one here and this one. Oh my gosh. These things look insane. Wow. Look at this thing. That thing looks a little bit too extreme for me. It's actually designed for a GBC, which is a great ball contraption. And then there's also chairlift down. That looks a pretty cool tower to support a chairlift, and also chairlift up. But the one that really caught my attention was this one here, done by Brick Eric. It's called Chairlift GBC, and it's designed for a great ball contraption, but obviously could work as a chairlift on a ski hill as well. So the really cool thing about this one done by Brick Eric is the fact that the instructions are free. That is insane. Also right down here, you can click on inventory. You can see that there's 1,297 pieces in this custom model. And you can export those parts to a Bricklink wanted list if you don't have the parts and you want to order them. That'd be an easy way of doing it. So I did that as well, but then I thought to myself, well, maybe I can build this using the parts from my inventory. But doesn't it look good? And the nice thing about it is it actually looks customizable. It looks like you'd be able to change the pitch of the center running beam there and also change the length of it if you so choose. So right when I saw that on Repurposing.com, I was like, okay, I've got to try building this chairlift. I don't know if it's going to solve all my problems, but it's more realistic than a gondola, and it's going to better suit my ski hill. So here's the bottom. It sits on a 24 by 24 base. And then we've got this wheel here, which is built using like a crazy amount of hinges and also the 2x2 modified plates. There are 32 of those 2x2 modified plates, but it is a custom built wheel. That was a super cool build, and it can actually spin freely here. Yeah, isn't that sweet? Then we have just like the bottom of the lift here. Obviously, when I get around to detailing this, I'm actually going to snow cover this whole thing so that skiers and snowboarders can just pull up and go onto the chairlift. Now, I don't have all the pieces required for this, but I plan on ordering them. Some of the hosing is required, actually a lot of it, because that's actually going to like feed through the entire chairlift, go around that wheel, and then make its way back up here, where I have pretty much a similar build. It's like matching to the bottom. So once again, it's another base there. This wheel can spin freely as well, but this one is actually connected to some gears on the bottom side. And when this wheel is spun, you can see this Technic axle right here spins as well. So I'd imagine when I build this, I'm going to be able to put a motor and an IR receiver on the bottom, and then I'll be able to spin this here, which will then move the line, which my little chairs will be connected to. I only had enough pieces to build 2 chairs, but I'm thinking, I'll have to do the math, but I think 12 to 16 chairs would be optimal, just to have them evenly distributed on this chairlift. This was a super cool build too. These are like the Technic lift arms. And then what the designer did was just put the plates like backward on them, so the studs are going into the Technic lift arms, and did that on either side. So it's a really nice like reinforced beam that spans all the way from the top all the way to the bottom. I also did some customizing in regards to part colors, like I mentioned. Like all these part colors are sort of wacky because I didn't have enough pieces, but I'm very surprised that I had enough pieces to get this far, right? We've got pretty much the base construction for the chairlift. I'm hoping tonight that I can start blending this in, because this is actually the right height. I just put some of these chairlifts right here, but they're actually going to be, or the chairs right there, but they're actually going to be on that tubing that's going to run through here, feed around this wheel, and then feed around and go back up. And once they're actually mounted to that, they'll be more so like out here, but they're going to be at a similar height. And the cool thing about this is when I attach this here, like this here, they're actually at the right height. So snowboarders and skiers aren't going to hit their head on the bottom of the chair. And if I need to change this, all I have to do is lift this up, and then it just changes the angle and changes the height of the chair. But I think this is pretty much perfect. It might come up like one more brick. And what's my plan in regards to this? You can see how I've made this ski slope here using 2x plate and also some 6x plate. What I'm going to do is change this all to 2x plate, so it's a steeper gradient, and then try and bring it up to the chairlift, because I only need to go up about 7 bricks, right? So all I have to do is just pop this off, pull this out, and then modify that so it's a little bit steeper. I could also build the hill using brick like this, and then I can sort of make it as steep as I want. But I want some like not very steep runs. I want green runs, right? And I think it'd be nice to have the chairlift come up and then have a green one right here. And then I'll have to put some steeper runs on this side. So the next thing I need to do is place a big bricklink order and get some tubing. And then I also need to work on blending in the top and the bottom of the chairlift. But it's just so much better. I still have the gondola over here. In fact, I just put it on this little strip right here. I thought maybe I could have a little gondola in town, but I think that's going to take away a bunch of space that I can use to tell stories in the Winter Village. So I don't think that's the right choice, but I don't really want to destroy that because maybe I can put it somewhere in my Lego city. Like maybe I can have a gondola somewhere going up this mountain that hosts the Mountain View Observatory or something like that. Or I can have it just go anywhere up onto the raised platform. Maybe there's a gondola in the amusement park that goes onto the raised platform or something. I still want to integrate that gondola somewhere in this Lego room just because I think that design is super cool and I want to use it somewhere else. Why not? It's like pretty much half constructed already. So I may as well use it somewhere. I'm not sure if that's going to be in the Winter Village or somewhere in the city there. We're going to see if I can get any more done tonight after I finish handing out Halloween candy to all the kids. But yeah, I have been rummaging through parts like crazy, and I'm super surprised that I was able to build this using the parts in my inventory. Definitely off to a great start, and I feel so much better this evening than I did this morning. So as I wait for more trick-or-treaters to come on by, I'm sitting at my computer and I decided to have a more in-depth look at this listing on Repurposing.com. And I rolled all the way down to the bottom here, and then I saw that there's actually a YouTube video that's created by the designer of this set. And he actually showcases it working. So you can see the tubing that I've got to get there, and you can see how flawlessly this thing actually operates. It is so cool. So yeah, what you should do is check out his YouTube channel actually. May as well give him a huge shout out here. His name is Bricksie, and it looks like he's just an insane builder. And his most popular video is, of course, the one that we were just looking at. So yeah, I'm very excited about this. I want to use this in the design for the ski hill. So thank you once again, Bricksie. This thing is by far the best. Oh, there's a trick-or-treater. As you can imagine with my barking dogs, it's going to be a very long night. But yeah, this thing looks insane. Just want to give a big shout out to the designer of this set. This is amazing. I can't wait to customize this for winter and have it fully operational on the ski slope. So while handing out candy, I was browsing Bricklink and I was putting together some parts lists for the chairlift. The tubing, I need 22 lengths of those because it actually stretches approximately 300 studs and the tubing is 14 studs long. So my plan is actually to put a chair at the end of each tube. So that means I need 22 chairs. I only have enough parts to build 2 chairs right now, and there's some changes that I want to make to the chairs, such as the light gray slopes that I used on the slide. I'd rather have those match the color of the chairs, and maybe there should be some different colors of chairs just to add some more color and excitement to the chairlift. So now I have to continue building my Bricklink wanted list and my Bricklink cart, and that is definitely the most challenging part of taking on projects like this. The execution of the build, very easy, but making sure that you order all of the right parts for this project, making sure you have the right pieces to add the cable and build the 22 chairs and you have the right colors, and making sure that I order the right pieces to make the color swaps on the wheel, and getting the exact amount of pieces that are required to do that is very difficult. There's also some other projects that I want to take on, and those projects also include ordering parts, such as my brick bank in my Grand Emporium. Recently added another floor, but I did a bunch of color mods on it, or color swaps, so I need to order the parts to change those so they actually match the rest of the building, such as sand green windows, dark green windows, 1x plates with the rail, etc. So I've got to get all of that ordered. And as I was browsing Bricklink there, I realized that I need more skiers and more snowboarders. So I also have to order minifigures who aren't wearing soccer outfits, but rather they're wearing parkas. I need to order helmets, ski poles, skis, and snowboards, and minifigures for those so that I can actually start to build a story here. So I need to calculate what I need to order, and that is going to be a challenge. Oh yeah, after I was done handing out candy, they're still filtering in and out, but it slowed down. I think we've had like close to 60 kids come by so far, so that's pretty cool. I built this here, so this is quite long now. It's 39 plates tall because it goes up 13 bricks. 13 times 3, 3 plates per brick, 39 plates long. And that is sort of how I'm going to blend in this side. And then I'll have to reconstruct the sides here. But it's Halloween, and I think I should probably watch Nightmare Before Christmas with the wife, at least for the remainder of my time after editing this video. So yeah, I guess I will continue tomorrow, but I'm very excited. I think I've cleared my mind of the burden of the gondola. That was like really pressing me this morning, and now I feel really good with the direction that I'm heading with the chairlift. Very cool. Everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Farewell.